Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
All right, Vikings Vent Line every weekend here on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. Training camp is underway. I got my guys Russell and John about to hop on here to give their thoughts on training camp plus the upcoming season. If you're listening, watching this, and you have thoughts on both of those things, this is Vikings Vent Line, and this show is just for you. So if you have thoughts on that and you want to share them with me and the audience here at Purple Daily, where we're daily Vikings entertainment, where we want to see the Vikings win a Super Bowl before we die, you can hit me up to be on an episode of Off-Season Vent Line. To do so, you just got to send me an email. It's vikingsventline@gmail.com. We only have about, 5, 6, 7 more of these left before the regular season starts. And once that happens, Mackie, Judd, and myself will be live immediately right after every single Vikings game to get your thoughts from wins and hopefully not too many losses. Regardless, we're here for you no matter what happens. So Vikings Vent Line, your show. Again, if anyone wants to be on a future episode, you can hit me up. It's vikingsventline@gmail.com. Vent Line is powered by our friends at Standard Heating and Air. Standard Heating, they're going to take care of all those HVAC needs, especially if now it's summertime and look, it's getting hot. And some days it's way too hot. You don't want that air conditioning to go out. They're going to give you a tune-up. They're going to check out the HVAC. They're going to make sure everything is working ship shape. There's no need to go try to DIY any of this stuff because they're going to handle it for you. So go to standardheating.com. You can join their Smart Club, which gives you priority bookings too in the event something goes haywire, and you can also save on repairs too. So Standard Heating, tell them that Purple Daily sent you. They'll power and help out any of those HVAC needs. Okay, let's get our guys in here, Russell and John. John, you're making a return here to Vikings Vent Line. Russell, you're up in Canada, correct? And are you just visiting there? Do you reside in Canada? Where are you about? Where are you residing from when you're watching Vikings games?
I actually live in upstate New York, a
Okay.
little village just outside of Cooperstown.
Oh, sweet.
So, Baseball Hall of Fame.
Very nice. Very cool. What led you to being a Vikings fan?
So in a quick version, I'm a little bit older. Back in the 70s, my mother was yard sailing. My brother, huge Cowboys fan. This was the 70s, so Cowboys Steelers, huge rivalry. Our school colors were purple. She picked it up because, hey, it's a purple bag. It was a Vikings, the old school gym bag with the solid bottom, kind of the half moon. And then I got to really follow Fran Tarkenton. He made there's a show on years ago called That's Incredible, I believe it was, where he traveled the country with some other people, just talking to Americans. And that was it. I just kind of latched onto the Vikings, really to be anything different from my brother, who was diehard Cowboys. And just been a lifelong kind of pain ever since then.
Yes, it is. We hashtag appreciate your service, Russell, getting through those 70s with Super Bowl losses and then sibling rivalries too. And now here we are. Hopefully, it's JJ McCarthy leading this team to a Super Bowl, and hopefully we can finally get one before we die. John, you're back here on Vent Line. You were trashing Kirk, I think, the last time we talked a little over a year ago. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's I'm residing now here down in Chicago. Most times you can find me in Lower Wacker. I'm basically just battle rapping any Bears fans with hot takes as to how the year's going to go. Even with how hot it is down here in Chicago, they certainly don't need any more Kool-Aid. They're fully on board. So, just trying to hold the fort down here and represent for everyone in the Chicagoland area.
I appreciate it, man. I keep fighting the fight against Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, and man, that's do you have Vikings? Do you at least have some teammates on your side, or are you mostly a lone wolf down there in Chicago?
I've got some buddies here, all Minnesota transplants, and we actually have 2 Vikings bars just a couple of blocks away, so I'm able to pop over there pretty frequently.
Nice, very good. Well, Russell, I'm going to start with you here. Training camp is now underway. What excites you the most about Vikings training camp this year?
Really seeing JJ McCarthy. I think that's everyone watching this young man really get out there, start taking his reps, knowing that it's his team. So he doesn't have, trying to step over Kirk for that matter. I know he's long gone, but I think it was a great move, really making him QB1 early in the decision-making process. Darnold, I'm sure, behind the scenes, part of me, part in my heart, I was like, God, maybe we should keep this guy. Look what he's shown us. But all the track record he has in the years past, I think that was such the right decision not to tie up so much money and just wheeling him out for another year, trying to catch lightning in a bottle. And we probably wouldn't have necessarily been able to seal all those deals on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, also true. That's the benefit, right, of the rookie scale contract. So you can start filling out some of the things that had some holes on it. And the Vikings, to be honest, and this is where I think a lot of this, maybe the national talking heads, it gets lost in translation of usually when a first year starter or a rookie starter is coming in, like McCarthy is, they're taking over a bad team and there's going to be deficiencies. How well can he play with those things bogging him down? Man, I mean, they've kind of built up a car, the Vikings have, to just don't crash it, man. It's actually got brand new wheels on it. It's been souped up. Just don't crash the car. So I guess we'll see what type of driver JJ McCarthy is. But it is good that they've basically empowered him since, April, May at this point, and training camp's underway, and hopefully they continue to do so. John, I know you probably are excited to see McCarthy too, but or anything else that excites you about training camp this year?
I would really say, listening into some of the camp notes and what everyone's been talking about is how Flores is not, letting off the gas when it comes to the defensive schemes. Remember you all talking about how JJ's talking about what am I looking at here? And KOC's like, I don't even know. They want to scale back, but he's not letting the foot off the gas. And I think that's, a must have, especially if we want to continue the success we were having on the defensive side of the ball. Also just adding that, it looks like Murphy's continuing to develop, and he's probably, he was a Pro Bowler last year. He's probably the best cornerback we've had since that lone All-Pro season from Xavier Rhodes. So at least we know we have that part of the field locked down. And then, of course, the secondary too, Harrison coming back, being able to be the quarterback of the defense, and, just kind of giving this another ride. So really excited to see what we're doing on defense and the additions as well.
Yeah, Flores has done an awesome job. I mean, Russell, I know McCarthy gets a ton of the attention here, but is this about as confident you felt about Brian Flores and the defense as a whole? I mean, the Zimmer era kind of soured at the end. We had to watch what Donatel tried to do in the 1 year he was DC. What are your kind of thoughts on the Vikings defense in the now third year with Brian Flores as the defensive coordinator?
I think this is really going to be, I believe, their crown jewel. Second year with the Van Ginkels of the world, Harrison Smith, possibly his swan song. He's my favorite Viking currently right now. I love reading in the camp notes. He had a pick. It was a tip and a pick. And I think that's great. I think really these probably maybe first third of the season, they are going to be coming after McCarthy hard. Mm-hmm. They are going to see, can this kid throw? They're going to prove it to us, basically. So I really hope in this training camp and in preseason training camp, I guess, I really hope the defense is just playing just all out, really pressuring them, throwing different schemes, because the defense, there's not many better than ours. And I really think if McCarthy can start seeing some of these things as speed, it's just going to make him so much better. It's, no sense kind of treating it with kid gloves. Get right out there. I honestly love to see the picks, because you got to see what you can do.
Or failure is the best teacher, right? I mean, learning from those mistakes stuff too. So that's going to be really, really good and beneficial, I think, for McCarthy as training camp unfolds. Russell, do you think the Vikings have fixed their running game? Do you feel like this is also, I know we just talked about the defense maybe entering a swan song, and it's been a revolving door with Dalvin Cook, Alex Madison. I thought Aaron Jones definitely played admirably last year, but probably need a little bit more of help. So they bring in Jordan Mason. Do you feel better about this running game in 2025?
Much better. After last year, when you couldn't punch it in from the 20-yard line, from the 10-yard line, from that matter, taking some of the load off of Jones, being able to spread it a little bit more. They're different backs. I think for this year, I think we've solved a lot of problems. Next year, everybody gets a year older. We'll probably have to address it again, but I feel so much better this year than I did last year.
Yeah, it just feels like, even though I don't think O'Connell's been committed to run the football, and some of that was the personnel that they had offensive line wise, Madison not being maybe as good as they thought, but now it does feel like they have a kind of two-headed monster that they can bounce off each other in Mason and Jones. I mean, John, do you feel too that this is like probably a more unique situation where they have two really good running backs that can kind of play all facets of that position, catch the ball, run the ball, be able to do it in the deep red. I mean, that's been a big bugaboo for them. How do you feel about the running game this season?
Yeah, I'm super confident in it. I think that is like the sneaky pickup of the year of bringing in Jordan Mason, because he proved that, he could be a workhorse in his own right when CMC was out last year. Of course, he got a little dinged up himself, but he's got proven durability. We still have to kind of see what he can do from a pass catching standpoint, but I think he brings in all the things that we want, that Aaron Jones might lack a little bit from exactly what you're talking about, punching it into the deep red zone. And then also like just all the investment that we've been doing on both sides of the offensive line. We saw that part of it, we couldn't move the ball in the run game. So just not overcommitting, but like really investing, from bringing in Will Fries, Ryan Kelly, Donovan Jackson, just completely revamping that side of the ball. Even some of the UDFAs, we're just trying to load up on the O-line, and then on the other side, trying to stop it, bringing in Hargrave and Jonathan Allen. They saw the flaws that we did have, and they've done everything they could to try and rectify those.
Yeah, they finally addressed the offensive line, which was huge. Defensive, yeah, I think a lot of attention has been made to the offensive line, and I think rightfully so. But the defensive side too, they had to figure out ways to kind of, and I think statistically last year they were still solid against the run, but they definitely could be even better against that and not have a leaky defense. That's just time of possession. It bogs down a defense. If you want to be better at that, get some dudes up there in the front and the middle that can make life hell for them. Taking a look too, just in the NFC North, I guess, John, do you feel the Vikings are the favorites to win the division? I mean, it's pretty jumbled with the Lions and Packers. How do you feel? Do you think the Vikings can win this division in 2025?
I think we absolutely can. I think it is really dependent on getting off to a hot start with some of the lighter parts of the schedule we have before the bye. And then just injuries too. Can we stay healthy? Because all the UDFAs that we brought in, they all seem very talented, but they each have like kind of their own injury histories. And just based on prior drafts and everything, we're light at depth, kind of across the board. So I think that maintaining a 17-game season, that's going to be key to keep everyone upright, even with Darrisaw and O'Neal with their histories too. Right now, I've kind of got it projected for us to go 11-6, 4-2 in the division, right behind Detroit right now. But, anything can happen. And we certainly play better when the attention is on everybody else. And it seems like everyone wants to talk about the rest of the North. Everyone's expecting us to take a step back. So when the expectations are a little bit less on us, I think that's when we play our best. So I think it's totally possible.
Russell, how about you? If you were a betting man, not sure if you are a betting man. If you are a betting man, would you put some money on the Vikings to win the North? Do you feel confident about that? It's obviously going to be a pretty tough division, but a lot of people sleeping on the Vikings. Do you think that they can actually, though, go out and win the North this year?
I do. I think I've, probably drank some of the Kool-Aid. I also have us sitting at 11-6. I think Detroit is really the cream of the crop. They're not going to give it away. Minnesota's going to have to take it. I know they've lost some coaching there in Detroit, but they are still a well-coached team. They're a good team overall, great receiving core. I mean, a lot of similarities there. But I don't see why the Vikings couldn't. I do think a lot of the pundits are just writing us off rookie QB, and it's Minnesota. I mean, we don't get much respect anyways. But I still think the Bears haven't proven much. Green Bay, I just hate giving them any kind of props. But again, I think they're more of a middle-of-the-road team. I think Detroit is the big one, and I agree. We've got to get off to a hot start. It's kind of a meat grinder in the middle of the season. I'm going to that game against the Ravens. I know that's going to be a tough one there in Minnesota, even at home. Lamar is no joke. Again, I live in upstate New York. I am, Buffalo is a few hours away. It's all Josh Allen land. But he's a quality quarterback. The Bills, no joke at all. But as far as our division, yeah, I think they can absolutely run away, not run away with it, but they can take it by the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, even though not wanting to give Packers props, which I don't blame you for, same thing with even the Lions. I feel like more people are having the dark horse of the Bears, obviously, and John, you're right in the heart of Bears land and Bears positivity there in Chicago. But you could make a case that I think for sure the Lions, Vikings, and Packers have a better shot than Chicago Bears. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's probably gonna be the deepest division in football, maybe like outside of the AFC West, which obviously has some good teams. It's going to be a grind. And yeah, getting even to 12 wins, I think, is just going to be almost impossible because you're probably going to have some division teams splitting with each other, beating up on each other. All of them kind of playing some tough schedules and some tough quarterbacks there in the AFC too. So yeah, it's going to be a grind. I think 11 wins should likely get it done, though. If one of them wins 12, then yes. I mean, last year the Vikings were a 14-win team, that 13-win team that wasn't able to even get a home playoff game and win their division, right? So it's going to be a pretty tough one, tough sledding there, and a tough one to try to win. Before we wrap up, Russell, any other hot takes, any last shout-outs you'd love to give here on Vikings Vent Line? The floor is yours.
Again, just my family who really support me through this journey. My wife has become a Vikings fan through marriage. So nice. She accompanies me. This will be our second trip to Minnesota. Hot take, not really involved in the Vikings, but I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to be a Falcon by the time the season starts. I was thinking he might be a Viking, but that I don't see him happening. Don't see that happening. But I saw Fields there at the Jets, kind of went down a little toe injury yesterday, and I'm like, oh my God, would the Jets be dumb enough to sign Kirk? But no, I wouldn't. I don't have any real hot takes. I just, in my heart, I'm so excited to see this team play. I know there's been a lot of talk about the offensive line and JJ and the defense and Harrison Smith and special teams, but I think this is the most well-coached team in the NFL, and I am so excited to see how they just play all three sides of the game, their special teams, their offense and defense. I have not been this excited in such a long time to watch Vikings football. Last year, it was just kind of a genie out of a bottle type of thing. Who would have saw that coming? But I just really am so excited and psyched up about this year.
Totally. That's going to be a super fun year. John, how about you, man? Got any other hot takes down there in Chicago? Any shout outs here on Vikings Vent Line? Go ahead.
Yeah, hot takes. I mean, I'll say kind of going back to the run game. I think that, again, Mason's going to be kind of like the bruising back. I would not be surprised if he gets us 10 rushing touchdowns going into the year. McCarthy, KOC knows how to develop quarterbacks, even with him lighting as a rookie. I mean, I think 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, totally doable. And then from another hot take, Chicago Bears fans, they're going to be selling their tickets at a loss by week 10. Wheels are going to come off. They're going to come back down to earth. So looking forward to that. Unfortunately, we're playing them week 1, and tickets are astronomical right now.
Yeah.
But in terms of shout outs, would love to give some credit to my other buddies holding it down here in Chicago, Dylan, Sam Stecker, Will Hosley. Would love to give a shout out to my girlfriend, Ashley. She's from Kansas City and been a diehard Chiefs fan since 2019, I think was their first Super Bowl. But outside of that, finally, just shout outs to some recently departed, including my dad. He was a diehard Vikings fan. Wasn't able to get one before him, but we'll be carrying it on for him. And then also recently departed Jim Marshall. He left us just back in June. And funny story about him, too, was he had a role in actually bringing one of my family members into this world. The date was October 25th, 1964. We were playing in San Francisco, and he starts running the ball back the opposite direction. Now, meanwhile, while that was happening, my Aunt Marilyn was over in St. Louis, diehard Vikings fan, listening to the game, and she is screaming at the radio as this is happening live. And she was also 9 months pregnant. And this play and this series of events actually sent her into labor. Days later, my cousin Chip was born. So he holds a high regard in the Anderson family.
Oh, my God, dude. I know you emailed me that you had a funny Jim Marshall story, and I was like, okay, I'm curious to hear what this is about. That's incredible. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm just going to assume you weren't ever able to meet Jim Marshall, or if any of if your aunt did or your cousin did, but that is an incredible. I know he's remembered for that, and to be honest, he probably wouldn't love to hear that at the time. Maybe as time passed, I'm sure he would have been able to have a chuckle about it. But man, that is a hilarious coincidence, dude. That's super funny. Super funny. I love that. Well, it's a family affair, whether it's giving birth or whether it's sparking a romance, however it works. Sometimes the Vikings can do that, and then your spouses who either are dragged along with you, like in Russell's case, or in John's case maybe too. It can be tough being a Vikings fan, and thankfully our spouses and our partners support us through all that. John, Russell, thank you so much for coming on Vikings Vent Line. Appreciate you guys. Great takes. Again, if anyone wants to come on a future episode of Vent Line, you can hit me up. It's vikingsventline@gmail.com. Purple Daily. We'll be talking at you soon.